WAVE 3, Louisville.
Easter services throughout the world and here at home. We'll have that story. I'm Carol Grady. A tragic accident on I-65 and a dramatic rescue in the Arizona mountains.
This is WAVE 3 News Nightcast for Sunday, March 31st.
Good evening. Indiana State Police are at the scene of a bad accident between Columbus and Seymour on I-65. The wreck involved two semi-trailer trucks and a passenger car. Police say at least 3 people are dead. Traffic is being turned away from that area of the interstate in both directions. Cars are being diverted to highways 58 and 11. Right now, police say they don't know how many more people have been hurt. Around the world, Christians celebrated Easter. Pope John Paul II condemned the Gulf crisis. The pontiff told the faithful at St. Peter's Square to listen to the voice of the poor. He also spoke out for the freedom of Palestinians, Lebanese, and Kurds. In Jerusalem, crowds were smaller because of fears of violence. Few pilgrims took part in the procession through the Old City compared with previous years. The largest service in this area was at Freedom Hall. The congregation at Southeast Christian Church had to turn away people last year, so this year they moved to a bigger arena. There were big screen TVs, so the crowd of more than 10,000 could see what was happening on stage. The holidays can be a lonely time, especially for those without family or a place to go. But people who get help from the Salvation Army shelters were not forgotten this Easter. Cindy Bragan explains.
Most of these people thought they were showing up at the Salvation Army for Easter dinner only. But along with their soup, sandwich, and applesauce came a surprise.
Happy Easter. You're welcome.
It was a simple gesture, a paper bag bunny full of Easter candy.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, Willie, this is going to make you sweeter.
Well, I'm sweet enough.
You better make sure you eat it all.
A church group's thoughtfulness did not escape Salvation Army patron Susie Bell.
It's beautiful. It's a work of art. Good ideal. Good work of art. Who thought it up was kind of clever, generous.
This is the second year the folks at Holy Trinity Catholic Church have put together these bunny bags. Salvation Army directors say they're touched. They say it's nice to know somebody else cares. A lot of these folks are down on their luck, but Karen Haskins says she's glad she's not forgotten.
It's real nice and sweet for someone to take their time to do something like that for people and to care for other people that's in place and stuff like this, in these kind of situations.
Randall Stroud says it makes him feel good some people understand he's not homeless by choice.
We come in here, we eat our meal, we sit down, and we go on about our business throughout the day. And every once in a while, somebody comes along and gives us something like this. It's nice. And
it's a nice gesture Stroud says he won't forget. At the Salvation Army on Brook Street, Cindy Bragan, WAVE 3 News Nightcast.
Holy Trinity Church members say they've been making a conscious effort to help the less fortunate. Well, it hardly compared to being home for the holidays, but American troops in the Gulf got to celebrate Easter today in their own special way. Chaplains from various denominations conducted services at an abandoned Army base in Kuwait. Many soldiers offered thanks through song and prayer.
Come down from the cross just to save himself. He decided to die. He decided.
Many said the Easter celebration emphasized the reality of the Gulf War and gave them a deeper appreciation of life. And in the Gulf, fighting continues. The Iraqi government is reportedly back in full control of the northern oil center of Kirkuk. Rebels had held that city until today. Reporters say there are burned corpses and vehicles scattered along the streets. Iraqi sources are blaming the death and destruction on a rebel rampage of pillaging, looting, and murder, but insurgents say Saddam's soldiers did it. This is National Vietnam Veterans Day. Southern Indiana veterans took this time to remember Hoosiers who never returned from that war. New Albany veterans of the Vietnam War don't want anyone to forget the 2,281 MIAs and POWs still unaccounted for. Pete Held says it's unfortunate that as we welcome home new veterans from the Persian Gulf, there are still those missing from Vietnam.
We are welcoming them home 100%, and we
are glad that they took so few casualties, but it doesn't change our cause. We're still waiting for us to come home.
Balloons were released containing the names of each of the 66 soldiers who didn't come home to Indiana from the Vietnam War. The veterans want the people who find the balloons to contact their congressmen and encourage them to further investigate what happened to the MIAs and POWs of that era. Well, it's 5 minutes after the hour. Let's check in with John Belski for a look at our wake-up weather. John?
Hi, Carol. Looks like a cool start to the morning, but it's pretty typical for this time of year. Clear skies and actually a little warmer than it's been the last couple of mornings. We'll be at 37 degrees to start off our Monday. And around Wave Country tomorrow, a lot of sunshine and warming temperatures. No April Fool from Mother Nature this year. We'll see temperature around 60 degrees tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, John, sounds good. We have a story of dramatic rescue this weekend near Phoenix, Arizona. 2 freezing nights after his plane crashed, an Arizona doctor is rescued by a local TV station's helicopter pilot. Efforts to find the doctor had failed until this morning. That's when he was spotted by his friend, KPNX pilot Gary Mercer. Yvette Fernandez has details.
Hi, Aaron. It's Gary. Excuse me for doing this. How's your life, buddy? Haven't seen this stuff for 2 days. Ate some snow. Whose helicopter is this?
Channel 12's.
Oh, your Channel 12. Let me hug you too. Congratulations.
Come on, let's get you home.
After drinking a lot of water and getting warm, the first thing Aaron Bornstein wanted to see was his wife. After trying unsuccessfully to contact her, Aaron agreed to let us take him to the nearest hospital.
The whole thing burned. I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Did that happen several days ago?
I was out there for about a day and a half.
Here.
Within a few minutes, Aaron's wife, Jane, arrived.
Baby. Oh, baby.
My wife just arrived.
Who is this?
Blank Ballard.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry, but I've got to talk to him, okay?
I'll hang it up.
Oh, honey, I'm so happy to see you. Oh, baby.
I love you.
That's okay.
Everything burned.
It's okay, hon. Are you Gary?
Oh,
Gary. Oh. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing, sweetheart?
It was so lonely out there. I don't remember anything about it. I was flying under the clouds. And the next thing I remember, I was on the ground.
Jane says she never doubted he'd be found, but she didn't think he'd be found alive.
I wasn't hoping for the best. They've had several accidents up in that area, and my husband's the emergency room doctor, so he deals with this. And he tells me what goes on with these pilots, so no, I wasn't expecting that.
Once she felt confident he was okay, Jane immediately wanted to go back to the crash site.
I want him to fly again, and I can't encourage him or help him get through this if I don't know where he's been. I don't want him to feel like he shouldn't fly, and I don't want to get panic-stricken and say, no, we shouldn't fly, and I need to see where he's been and what he went through.
As we got closer to the wreckage, you could see how difficult this trip was for her.
There it is. We're at the left. You okay?
I'm okay.
All right.
But it was on the ground where she could see what really happened. Her husband's plane hit the side of the mountain, then slid up several yards before it finally stopped and blew up.
This is Aaron's first airplane that he ever owned, so it's one thing to sit there and say, oh yeah, you survived a crash, and it's another thing to look at it and say, you really survived.
Bornstein doesn't remember how he escaped from the flames or even what happened when he crashed. He had no food or water with him. He says he just ate snow. Tonight, Bornstein is nursing a broken ankle, a cracked rib, and some minor burns on his face. Metropolitan Sewer District and Health Department workers were called to the scene of a chemical spill at Rohm and Haas this evening. A company spokesman says 2,000 pounds of methyl methacrylate spilled at the plant. A workman was loading it onto a tank truck when it overflowed. That chemical is used to make plexiglass, and all of the overflow was caught in a basin. No one was hurt, and plant operations weren't affected. The company says it's required to report any spill over 1,000 pounds. A Clifton Heights house is gutted after a fire this evening. Louisville firefighters say the house was in flames when they got there just after 8. They called for more equipment and people because the fire could have spread to nearby homes. At this point, it looks as if it started with a grease fire in the kitchen. 2 people were in the home. Both got out okay, but one had minor burns on his arm. He was treated at the scene. A Breckinridge County man was killed today after a tree fell on him. 64-year-old John Curry and a companion were cutting down a tree on property near the Breckinridge-Meade County line when the tree got away from them. The other man was not hurt. Curry died this afternoon at Humana Hospital, University of Louisville. A Louisville man has escaped from a southern Indiana jail. Sheriff's deputies in Crawford County say Thomas Legler slipped into a linen closet last night after exercising. Apparently, the 37-year-old man tied several blankets together and lowered himself out of the closet's window. He's not considered dangerous. He was last seen wearing a red jail jumpsuit. Legler has green eyes, brown hair, and a scraggly beard. Police say he's about 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighs 225 pounds, and uses the alias Thomas Kaufman. John Belski joins us next with the weather, and after the weather, we'll have a story on how computers are getting into the job hunting field.
The University of Kentucky Library is enjoyed and used by thousands of UK faculty and students. In fact, all kinds of people from many walks of life use and enjoy the UK Library.
The UK Library needs our help to match a challenge grant by the National Endowment for the Humanities. If we can raise $2.25 million, the endowment will give us $750,000. That will buy a lot of badly needed books. Please join us in this important effort.
Can I help you folks? Hi, got any microwaves, Bob?
Yes.
Great, let's go, kids.
Thanks, Bob.
Let's go. Just cooking a Tony's microwave pizza, Bob. Couldn't wait to get home. You work on commission here, don't you, Bob?
Tony's, the pizza you can't wait to eat.
Bob, you make a better door than you do a window, Bob.
You wouldn't have to be a weightlifter to carry it home.
Smaller, but powerful.
Zap, pow. Strong stuff.
And then you'd use a lot less. Would open wide and never spill a bit.
Yeah, do the tough stuff.
I have one word for you. Clean.
Clean. Clean.
And it wouldn't dare fade my color.
Cheer with Color Guard. A scoopful cleans a machine full.
Very, very clean.
Some people still think you have to run all over town looking for the best deal on a new car or truck. Looks like a job for Car Show Man. He'll tell everyone about the Louisville New Car Show, April 4th through the 7th at the fairgrounds. They'll find over 2,600 new vehicles, 60 dealers, and on-the-spot financing. Now you can shop, bargain, buy, and even trade your old car all in the same day. Don't drive all over town. Follow the Car Show Man. What's wrong, superhero?
I'm falling and I can't get up.
Oh, Miss Jenkins, let me help you with that.
Nothing shatters a person's confidence like a personal injury. The pain, embarrassment, and financial problems can be overwhelming.
At the Becker Law Office, our job is restoring confidence.
We've got the legal, technical, and financial resources to help cure that lost and helpless feeling. And our clients pay nothing until they've been paid for their injury. Call the Becker Law Office for the confidence injured people need.
John Belski's in for Craig Edwards, and it's going to be a chilly night, but not as bad as the last couple of nights.
Had freezing temperatures the last couple of nights. You know, no major damage or anything like that. It's still pretty early in the season, but yeah, warming up a little bit there, Carol, and we're in good shape. A lot of calls, by the way. Still getting a lot of calls about the time change. That's coming up next weekend. All right, let's look back at March here, and we'll talk about our weather numbers for the month, which was a pretty warm month overall. 81 degrees. We all remember that high temperature for the month last week, and 27. Not all that cold for March. Sometimes you get below 0, but not this year. Rainfall, 0.06 of an inch above normal at 4.79 inches, and just a trace of snow. We had that this last Friday night. Now, a couple of things I wanted to point out about March's weather. 5.2 degrees above normal. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that is. That's quite a jump above normal. And in the last half of the month, only 2 days below freezing. That was this morning. and yesterday morning. All right, weather numbers for tonight. Partly cloudy skies around the area, 51 degrees here in the city. Out in the countryside at Owenton, 39, 49 at Clarksville and Lebanon Junction. Hello to you. You have 48 degrees right now. We had a high today of 55 and a low this morning of 28 degrees. Let's check this pinpoint forecast out for your Monday. A cool start in the morning. 37 degrees. Skies will be clear. In fact, skies remaining sunny throughout the day. Midday will be sunny and in the lower 50s, and we'll top out in the afternoon with a high temperature near 60 degrees with plenty of sunshine. On the weather map tonight, a little cold front moving our way. That's what's been giving us the clouds since mid-afternoon. Still some clouds overhead, and there'll be a few sprinkles over the next couple of hours as this front moves through. It'll kind of zoom on through here, and then weather very quiet for about the next 3 days. See this area of clouds out in the Atlantic that goes down to Florida? That's the tail end of the massive storm system that brought severe weather and blizzards and so much bad weather across the country this past week. This upcoming week looks to be a lot quieter, and we certainly need that. Tomorrow morning, there's the clouds. They're still over in eastern Kentucky up through Ohio. Freezing temperatures up to the north of us. That's good news there. And by afternoon, the clouds, the snow, they're out of here. They're up in the northeast. They can have it, and we'll enjoy plenty of sunshine here with temperatures 60, lower 60s, central and west Kentucky, 50s over east Kentucky, and 50s pretty much over most sections of Indiana. All right, here's how the 3-day forecast shapes up. Plenty of sun tomorrow, a high of 60 after that morning low of 37. Tuesday, let's bump that high up to 68 degrees. Few clouds Wednesday and a high of 72. Later in the week, I'm going to see a few showers, Carol, but nothing, no big-time rains or anything like that, and temperatures in the lower 70s.
If you're going to get forecasts like this, you can come back anytime.
Well, I'll think about it, okay?
Thanks, John. Coming up next, computer job listings, how they're working for the unemployed.
Truck buyers, how much would you expect to pay for all this equipment? $1,500, maybe $2,000? Only Chevy's S10 Tahoe with special option package AAA6 gives you all this for just this. That's right, only $131. Plus, first-time buyer and factory cash could save you an additional $1,600. Test drive one today at your hometown Kentuckiana Chevy dealer.
Start your week right at Circuit City's Monday Only sale. Wake up to 12 hours of eye-opening finds. Save on this VHS VCR with HQ picture enhancement and remote. Monday only, just $166.97. And this AT&T cordless telephone. Great for indoors and out. Yours Monday for only $57.97. We're closed Sunday, then open 10 to 10 for the Monday Only sale. Don't miss it.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art. You're gonna see the difference. We're shining brighter than ever before.
Shop Winn-Dixie for Astor Super Blend Coffee, $1.19.
Winn-Dixie's coming through for you. You see it in everything we do. Down every aisle, in every smile. Winn-Dixie's going that extra mile.
The guy can see us.
Gonna see the difference at Winn-Dixie.
Good job today.
America's supermarket.
Give me 3 soaps, give me 3 soaps, Spirit. Give me 3 soaps, all in one. Give me 3 soaps, Spirit. 'Cause I love what you have done.
New Spirit's a whole new kind of soap because it works like a cleansing bar, a deodorant bar, and a moisturizing bar all in one.
Give me 3 soaps, Spirit. Give me 3 soaps, all in one.
New Spirit. It's like 3 soaps in one.
Bounty means never having to say,
I'm sorry. So sorry.
Even for the worst bills.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bounty's quicker and thicker than any other national 2-ply paper towel. Bounty, the quicker, thicker picker-upper. Bounty means never having to say you're sorry.
I called Dad for a price on a muffler, and it was the same price after the job was done. Beat that.
Call Dad's Muffler Shop, where there's no muff too tough.
Monfort starts hiring tomorrow morning. That's the company taking over the Armour meatpacking plant. Former Armour employees will get first priority in hiring. But Mumford isn't guaranteeing anyone a job. At 9 in the morning, applications for maintenance workers will be accepted. At 11, the company will interview people looking for sanitation jobs. In the afternoon at 1, all other job descriptions will have a chance to apply. At 1, workers whose last names begin with A or B can apply. At 3, applications from workers with last names beginning with C through F will be taken. You can apply at the plant on Story Avenue. If you're looking for work or looking for employees, there's a good chance that in the future you'll find your match in a computer. Job listings that used to be found only in classified ads and office bulletin boards now turn up on computer screens. Kevin McCulloch reports on one of the newest databases.
The job title, secretary, the salary, $20,000 per year.
Ileana Bermudez is looking for a better job.
There's so many locations that are listed, and also like occupation, you look up the actual occupation you're looking for.
She's searching a database of 25,000 jobs compiled by the New Jersey Labor Department, regional agencies, the Chamber of Commerce, and private employers.
Let's try another state.
At the offices of Drake B. Moran, an outplacement counseling firm, the database is more upscale, as Vice President Jim Borland demonstrates.
So if I'm interested, I sit down at the computer and I say, well, let's see what they got. I want to make a minimum of, I put in $74,000.
There is equipment today, for example, that will scan a resume and match it with a job in the computer, if you will. And I'd say within 5 years, you're going to find a lot of people finding jobs by signing up with various databases and seeing if they can't match up their career needs with an opening.
But Moran warns job seekers to stay away from promoters charging fees up to $1,000 for access to Job Bank. No job database is going to completely replace the drudgery of unemployment lines, interviews, and career counseling sessions, but it can shorten the process, which would certainly help people like Joe McLaughlin.
How many letters have you sent out?
I'm in excess of about 2,400.
Secretary, legal secretary, secretary public relations.
Even with computers, job hunting isn't easy.
Phil Callis is here with sports, and I guess this was the deciding day for a lot of different champions.
That's right. We have a golf champion, also a tennis champion, and women's basketball champs. Southern's Lisa Harrison and Tennessee take the title. Fuzzy Zeller comes close at the Players' Championship. We'll check all that action, but first a look at tonight's NBA scoreboard.
Who can afford to be picky? You can at Winston Pittman's Cardinal Dodge. Pick either a new 91 Dodge Caravan with 7-passenger capacity or a used 1990 New Yorker Landau. Cardinal Dodge can trade like no one else. No matter what you owe on your trade, we'll pay it off for you if we can make a deal. Pick your deal now while colors and selection last. Choose a 91 Dodge Caravan or used 1990 New Yorker Landau for only $12,988. And yes, we have the Stealth. Come see why Winston Pittman's Cardinal Dodge is Kentucky's largest Dodge dealership. Absolutely the best deals on wheels. 5311 Dixie Highway.
Something very special happens at Easter. Ordinary rabbits become Easter bunnies. Ladies' hats become Easter bonnets. And hundreds of items of furniture at Crossroads become 1/2 off during Crossroads Easter 1/2 off sale. This elegant velvet 6-seat sectional sofa with recliner, shades, queen-sized innerspring sleeper, and matching corner table, normally $2,000, it's only $988 during Crossroads Easter 1/2 off sale.
Hurry, Crossroads Easter 1/2 off sale ends Monday.
Attention, RV and mobile home shoppers. Here are the facts. Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana, has by far the Midwest's largest inventory of RVs and mobile homes. The Midwest's largest indoor showroom. The Midwest's largest service department. Nobody beats Tom Raper's bottom line deal. Not now. Not ever. When the facts are in, the fact is, it's absolutely worth the drive to Tom Raper's 60-acre complex, Richmond, Indiana. No fluff, just fact.
Only a woman can understand what it means to be a mother, and in many ways, it's tougher now. Higher divorce rates, women left alone to raise their families, and too many fathers who don't pay their child support. That's why I'm committed to cracking down on deadbeat dads with tough new penalties that make them live up to their obligations. I think it's a crime when fathers don't support their own kids, and if I'm governor, that's exactly the way we're going to treat it.
Martha Wilkinson, common sense ideas straight from the heart of Kentucky.
Fuzzy Zeller was in the hunt down to the last hole at the Players' Championship in Florida. but he came up a couple of putts short. On the 13th green, Fuzzy hits this birdie putt, and this puts him at 11 under par, and he moves into a three-way tie for the lead. Then on number 14, Zeller, down by a shot, misses this birdie putt. It goes to the right, and he remains one shot back. On the 18th hole, Steve Elkington drains a birdie putt to go to 11 under and take over the lead. Zeller had to hit this birdie putt on 18 to tie and force a playoff, but it won't fall, and Elkington wins the Players' Championship by one shot.
Played well all week. It just wasn't good enough to win, but it was fun. Hell, it's exciting to get out there and get into the hunt and get your adrenaline pumping and see if your nerves are still good at 40, and mine are still pretty good. So we just didn't make the putts. Paul and I just all day long were close, but we just didn't get the ball to go in there.
My plan was to sort of be aggressive on the back nine, and you know, I was a little mad on 18, and I think that helped me hit a good tee shot, and then you know, the 3-iron shot I hit was just, you know, one of those things. But
Elkington takes home $288,000. Fuzzy pockets a cool $172,000 for his second place finish. Third round leader Amy Alcott was the winner at the Dinah Shore Classic on the LPGA Tour. It was Alcott's third win at that event. The Tennessee Volunteers have once again claimed the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship with a hard-earned overtime win over top-ranked Virginia. Midway through the first half, Tennessee went on a 6-0 run to cut the Virginia lead to 4. Southern High's Lisa Harrison with a bucket for the Vols. But the top-ranked Cavs woke up and they widened their lead as Tanya Cordova drills the three-pointer from the right side. Virginia by 9, but Tennessee held a 1-point halftime lead. Dina Head with a nice move here. She has her shot blocked. She gets it back, makes the move, and puts it in. The Vols by 5. But Head had to hit 2 free throws with 7 seconds left to send this one into overtime. And Head was able to add 5 more free throws in the extra period as the Vols hang on to take the national title 70-67 over Virginia.
This one is sweet because of this team and their attitude and their togetherness, and because of what happened a year ago and how they handled the adversity and the challenge. I told them 3 weeks ago I would love them whether they made it here or not, but just play with their hearts.
Think about when Deidre Charles went out the game, and I think our team looked at each other and everybody looked each other in the eye, and I saw fire in everybody's eyes and nobody wanted to give up, and I promised Deidre, I said, this is for you, and I went up to the free throw line with confidence, and I think the rest of our team went up to that free throw line and did the same thing.
Today's win was the third time Tennessee has won the women's national title. All eyes will be on the Hoosier Dome tomorrow night as Duke tangles with Kansas for all the marbles. Now, even as the title game draws near, everybody's still talking about Duke's big upset over UNLV in last night's semifinals.
Those kids are a year older. I think Duke is a little bit better all-around team this year than they were last year. Bobby Hurley and Christian Laettner are more mature, and that made the difference in the ballgame.
I said before the game, the one thing Duke had was the advantage of having played them last year, the revenge factor, and Hurley was outstanding.
Hurley got off a good game, and of course Laettner got off early. Those are the 2 areas that you hope to stop, and they didn't stop them early, so that's why Duke stayed late.
Okay, attention baseball fans, opening day, 8 days and counting. Today it's Florida, and the defending world champion Reds held on to beat Sparky's Detroit Tigers. Eric Davis looked very healthy indeed. He had 6 RBIs against the Tigers. First, he hammers this pitch to left for a 3-run home run. Davis later added a 3-run double as the Reds beat the Tigers by a final count of 9-6. Elsewhere in spring training action, the Texas Rangers took care of the St. Louis Cardinals 5-1, and the Redbirds in Columbus were rained out. And in the Metro, the Louisville Cards made it 2 out of 3 over Virginia Tech today at Parkway Field. They win it by a final of 13-3. Brad Gilbert's 5-set win today clinched a first-round win for the U.S. over Mexico in Davis Cup play. The defending champion United States will now play Spain in the quarterfinals. Steffi Graf picked up her first prize check in the U.S. Women's Hardcourt Championship with a 2-set win over the world's top-ranked Monica Seles. It was her first win since November, her second at that event, and her first over Seles since 1979.
Yeah, I guess in the beginning I was a little bit tired and I didn't feel too comfortable, and I needed a few games to get in. And from then on, I just felt really great.
Graph Interplay ranked #2 in the world, so she may be heading back to that #1 spot.
Okay, thanks, Bill. We have another Easter celebration for you. This one's in the Big Easy, and it has an entirely different flavor.
Taco Bell and Wave 3 invite you to opening weekend with the Redbirds, April 12th and 13th, featuring the famous chicken. Hurry into Taco Bell, home of the 59, 79, and 99-cent value menus. Purchase a 6 or 10 pack of tacos to go and receive 2 free admission tickets to opening weekend at the Redbirds. Great value, the famous chicken, and the Louisville Redbirds. A triple play. Brought to you by Wave 3 and Taco Bell.
Who can afford to be picky? You can at Winston Pittman's Cardinal Dodge. Pick either a new 91 Dodge Caravan with 7-passenger capacity or a used 1990 New York or Landau. Cardinal Dodge can trade like no one else. No matter what you owe on your trade, we'll pay it off for you if we can make a deal. Pick your deal now while colors and selection last. Choose a 91 Dodge Caravan or used 1990 New York or Landau for only $12,988. And yes, we have the Stealth. Come see why Winston Pittman's Cardinal Dodge is Kentucky's largest Dodge dealership. Absolutely the best deals on wheels. 5311 Dixie Highway.
United we stand, divided we fall. A lesson from our past, our hope for the future. This year, we can elect honest, new, progressive leadership to unite Kentucky and build a better future. Brereton Jones, not a career politician, a successful businessman, a farmer, a loving father. He cares deeply about people. Brereton Jones formed the Healthcare Access Foundation, which helped thousands of families without costing taxpayers a cent. And he helped build UK's Cancer Center. He's fought for years to improve education. As Lieutenant Governor, Brereton Jones saved taxpayers close to $1 million by cutting expenses.
As your governor, I'll work to cut waste in state government. No more special influence contracts. We'll help folks get off the welfare rolls and onto the work rolls. We'll unite to attack crime in every corner of our Commonwealth. And I'll join with parents, teachers, and school officials to make the promise of education reform a reality.
Brereton Jones, Governor. This time, the people come first.
Here's the difference in black and white. The Walmart price. It's different.
Because Walmart is different.
Instead of relying on sales events, we watch expenses so we can give you the low price.
On every item. On every shelf.
In every aisle.
Always.
It's a promise we make each day. A promise we've kept for 29 years. The Walmart price. It's the difference between other stores and Walmart. The difference between sometimes and always.
For many people, there's a tradition at Easter to go to services at the break of day. Well, they hold a sunrise service in New Orleans, too, but then they celebrate as only the Big Easy can. There are not one, but 2 parades through the French Quarter, giving residents a chance to show off their Easter finery or just show off. And instead of Easter cantatas, the music of choice is Dixieland Jazz. Here Comes Peter Cottontail was never quite like this. Thanks for joining us. The Current Affair Extra is next, followed by the Jesse Jackson Show. Have a good night and a great week.